Alright, ASP here with Bill and this pink Land Rover. So, what is this pink Land Rover?
What you're looking at is a 1968 standard military Land Rover that was modified for use by the SAS as a long-range desert patrol vehicle. Basically, the SAS had decided over the years of the various equipment and modifications that they needed. They sent the specs back to Land Rover and the Marshals of Cambridge, who actually built this out of a standard Land Rover 109.
Okay.
They only built 72 of them to begin with. And there's only about 15 to 20 survivors that are out here right now. Most of them saw active duty in the Middle East in Oman during the Dhofar Rebellion. This particular one, I know from the few history papers that we have that it did see active duty with the SAS right up through '86.
Okay. Now, why pink?
Pink, basically, especially in the Arabian Peninsula, the sand there actually has a very slight pinkish hue to it. And they discovered quite by accident at the end of World War II that pink is actually the perfect camouflage color for those areas. The story went that some troopers were out patrolling and just about drove into a crashed plane that they didn't see till they almost hit it. And it had been painted red originally, but the sun had faded it to a pink, and they realized that that sort of sandy pink made a perfect camouflage.
Okay.
So these were all originally green, and when they arrived in the field, the troopers themselves would paint them.
Okay. Now, all right, can you explain some of the equipment?
What we've got here, we can start with the armaments. The main armaments are the two L1A1 machine guns. You see, there are 30 caliber or 7.62 millimeter machine guns, front and rear. There are SLR rifles in cheek pockets to either side. There is also an 84 millimeter Carl Gustaf recoilless rifle mounted behind the seats. Now, the troopers would also have personal sidearms, and quite often they would throw a small portable Laws rocket or something in the back.
Okay.
And that was the basic armament. The little things you see off all four corners, those are for smoke grenades.
Okay.
For covering exits. These were mostly for patrols and for quick raids and things like that. So they were not designed for pitch battles. It's not an armored vehicle.
Yeah.
It's designed for high speed, in and out type of thing.
Quick attacks.
Yes. So right here behind the seats, you've got extended fuel tanks. There's also fuel tanks underneath the driver's seat and the commander's seat. Total fuel capacity was about 100 gallons in the main tanks, and then they'd also carry 8 jerry cans in the back.
Okay.
That and the fact this only has a small 4-cylinder engine in it, it had a range of about 1,000 miles.
Really? 4-cylinder?
Yep.
Wow.
It's a small sort of 4-cylinder Rover standard 2.25 petrol engine, which was actually a very, very reliable engine and very dependable.
Okay. Quick question, what are these right here? What are these hanging off?
Those are basically sandmat. You see them a lot, and especially in World War II pictures and such. They'd use them for temporary runways.
Okay.
But they're usually come in 10-foot lengths. They'd cut them in half, and they would make excellent sand traction ladders. Because when you have a 7,000-pound vehicle, even with four-wheel drive, you will get it stuck in the sand at some point.
Okay.
And so all you have to do is unbolt those, slip them under the tires, and you can usually pull yourself out.
Okay. Can we go to the front?
So, sure. Truck basically had a 3-man crew. Your driver, your commander sat in the raised seat, and then your radio operator and your gunner would sit in the back. Every crewman had their own 5-gallon jerry can of water. And then the extra jerry can in back here was actually carried gasoline that I've been told was not so much for the engine. It was just in case they had to abandon the vehicle. That gasoline would be used to destroy it.
Oh, okay. Destroy the vehicle.
Destroy the vehicle.
So no, used against them.
Or used by anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's up here in the driver's seat?
So at the driver's seat, obviously there's no windshield, so there's a pair of goggles so you can see where you're going, especially in the desert. The little green case here is for a pair of binoculars. Each crewman also had a pouch for hand grenades.
All right.
Every crewman had their own fire extinguisher. The box right here is more ammunition cans for the front machine gun.
Okay.
This here is a sun compass for desert navigation.
Oh, really?
They're actually very difficult to use and obnoxious, but they do work.
All right.
In addition, the driver also had the compass mast, which basically was fitted with a standard British RAF aircraft compass.
Okay. All right. And this is the radio?
Yeah, that's one of the radios. There were usually 2 to 3 radios fitted, depending on what they needed to use it for. That's a radio that would have been fitted later in its career. And that's basically for inter-unit communications. The unit between the seats is designed for ground to air.
This one here?
Yes.
Ground to air. All right. All right. Fantastic.
But the rest is just the crew would sling their personal kit in quick, easy to grab if they need to, if they're needing to bail out of the vehicle. On the front, you can see more recovery gear, the pickaxe, the shovels, and again, that's just for if they get stuck.
Yeah. Now, when was this last used? Like
1986.
1986, wow.
In fact, in the beginning of '86, it was still in Oman. So it was shipped back to the UK and then sold as surplus.
Okay. All right, Bill. Fantastic. Fantastic piece of history.
Not a problem.
No, a friend of ours actually did, and we bought it from him. It's storage, basically not running for 20 some odd years, and so we get it in running condition.
That's the hard part, is not messing up the teammate, so to speak. So
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun because Bill built the compass mast for us right there.
Yeah.
It was missing. And so
They take a dim view of it.
Oh, this is neat.
See what I
This really is pretty cool. Denisha getting out of the sun.
Smoke today.
One of the stories that Bill shared was we're crossing Europe, but pedestrians went over.
Right.
Yeah.
All I got to do is go get it. Well, the funny thing is over at the UK, you know, when you go into something like that, or no one's going to question it. You know, if we're running around with like a radio, like a machine gun, it just avoids hassles.
Per hour?
Yeah.
What?
Are you referring to as opposed to kilometers, or?
Which is yours?
Anywhere in the show is
Can we go in that tent?